Hello, I'm Dean Walker, founder of Living Resilience. And this is an online enclave, if you will, for the collapse aware and collapse acceptant communities around the world. And we've been putting out online courses, support groups, and resources for those communities for 11 years now. And one important part, an additional part of what we offer is the Poetry of Predicament podcast, which is a YouTube channel. And so you could be easily watching that there in on the YouTube channel, or you could be watching it in the most current iteration of our online course that's offered. It's called The Inner Work, Being Together in the Great Unraveling. And so this would qualify as hopefully one of the more inspiring, deeply moving for me. We'd like to relay an incident amongst the many incidents going on in this January of 2026 in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota, here in the States. It's a bit difficult not to know that there's that onslaught going on from the ICE uh, agents that have come in by the thousands. And the stories are truly horrific from a number of different neighborhoods. And you've probably heard a bit about this one, which is about a 5-year-old boy who, in coming home from school, was escorted by ICE agents to the door, his own family's house door, and also neighbors' doors, in the hopes of being bait. That the ICE agents were hoping that this 5-year-old would be bait to draw out the adults in the households so that they could be taken away in typical ICE fashion. Uh, it's hard to imagine something this horrific being done in the USA in these days, but unfortunately, it too is becoming normalized. Uh, what we are bringing to you today is a reading of a special, a eulogy that was created by someone online in directly related to this use of this 5-year-old boy as a form of bait, and just how soul crushing this incident is. So the eulogy for humanity coming out of it. So one last thing about this before I just let it play is that this is a reading from one of the members of our most experiential uh, kind of a deep dive support group that we have here in Living Resilience called the Community of Practice. And there are a couple of people from other countries in this community of practice. And this particular eulogy is being read by a person from Denmark. And just want to again thank him for finding this eulogy for humanity and then being willing to read it. So this is an audio excerpt from a meeting session of this community of practice here in Living Resilience. And as you'll see at the very end, we send out our solidarity, our stand for solidarity with this family, with this neighborhood, with the city of Minneapolis, with the state of Minnesota, and of course across the country. These are extraordinary times. And so thank you for listening, watching, and to whatever degree you are participating with the work of Living Resilience, which we consider the inner work of collapse. There's a lot of inner work to do, as you can only imagine. Perhaps you're doing your own. We would invite you to come and join us and sit in circle with us. And let's refine, let's share, let's deepen this inner work so that we might be a bit more capable of being of service to those we love in these extraordinary times. So that's it for the introduction. Now on to the reading of Eulogy for Humanity.
Uh, no, it's just I read a story. I can post it here in the chat. Um, it was ICE. They approached a 5-year-old boy, 5-year-old, after school, and they actually used him as bait. From what I understand from the article, they used him as bait to go around and knocking on the neighbors' doors, and then apprehend them. And then they apprehended the boy. ICE took him. They separated him from his parents.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, he's somewhere in Texas at an unknown location. No one knows where he is. And
Hmm.
it's a 5-year-old boy. Uh, Posted here in the chat. But there's been obviously very strong reactions from people. And it randomly came up from uh, here. Someone wrote this kind of like a poem, a eulogy for humanity. I would actually like to read it aloud if you will allow me.
Sure.
It's
Yes,
not
please.
very,
Yeah, sure.
but it's in response to the five-year-old boy who was
Hmm.
taken by ICE. A eulogy for humanity. Today I invite you to mourn with me. I invite you to mourn the loss of our humanity, lost years ago, drowned in a bathtub of arguments, skepticism, and doubt, its neck choked mercilessly by the hands of fear. As I look at a picture of a child no older than 6, dressed like any other Minnesotan, in snow pants, jacket, and hat, being led to a strange uniformed man's vehicle by his Spider-Man backpack. I see the fear in his eyes. I feel a tear fall down my face as I'm overcome by the pain in my heart. This child doesn't deserve this. There's nothing this child could have done to deserve this. There's no argument that could be made to justify this cruelty, and yet there will be arguments. There will be justification. There will be appeals to abandon what we know to be wrong in favor of the need to be right. And so, wherever you are, whatever you believe, join me in mourning the loss of our humanity. Join me in the loss of our shared sense of decency, our shared sense of civility. Join me in observance of our humanity and our humility, and with it, our willingness to admit we were wrong in order to do what's right, instead of insisting we were right while continuing to do wrong. I just found it very strong and powerful, especially when you talked about humanness.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's scary, just of course I knew ice were bad news, but it's kind of like discovering that the Nazi work camps are actually extermination camps. Like it's that I don't know, like this story really some light some light for me how sinister these people are and just how deplorable. Um, it's that same kind of revelation. Um, just the fact that they can take this 5-year-old boy and separate him from his family, his parents, and then take him to some unknown location. No one knows where he is. And I mean, will he see his parents again? Will they see him again? It's just, I don't know, the fact that this is happening in a so-called civilized society, and I don't know.